Today is story time. It's finally a nice spring day. That gets me excited. Happy about that. Happy Friday. Have all the fun at the happy hours or whatever they're doing this weekend. Going out, partying, going to the bars, and bar crawl, all that. Fantastic. This story happened a few years ago when I was a manager. I was a very young manager in my 20s and early 20s, mid 20-something. So 20-something year old manager, all business and serious and everything like that. And you know, I had to act a lot older than I was because I was in charge and everything like that. So I was really buttoned down, really serious all the time, things like that. So the staff I had actually pretty fun staff, everything. We got along really well. It wasn't a lot of us, so we were small, like really tight knit, really close and everything like that. So when you have friends at work, you get like really tight in with them and everything like that, and you joke all the time back and forth. That's just what you do. These are the people you spend most of your time with. Like, you spend all day with them, so it's better to get along with them than to hate their guts and want to kill them. So I had a lot of funny people on my staff with me. We would joke around, this, that, and the other, but we would keep it in circle. Like, we wouldn't go outside of the circle because no one outside of our circle knew me as like a fun-loving, crazy, joke-filled kind of guy. Just didn't, because I always had that button-down approach. So my job had something like, it had an instant message system through our software and everything like that. So we could send like little messages to each other no matter what locations we're at. So even when my group split up and we all went to different locations, we still use that little instant messenger to kind of message each other back and forth, send stupid stuff, send jokes, make fun of each other, make fun of customers sometimes, things like that. We wouldn't make fun of customers too much. We love people. We love people. So we would make jokes across the instant messenger and everything like that. So a few years ago, flashback to a few years ago, there was a really, really terrible song by this rapper Trinidad James out there. Yeah, who's that now? But it was gold all in my chain, gold all in my ring, gold all in my watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Like, that really awful, awful song that I hate so much. So we all used to make fun of that song when it came out. We would just go crazy with it. And then, you know how he was always like that one line, I popped the molly, I'm sweating. Woo! So we always used to make fun of that, whatever. Like, oh man, that customer is tripping. They must be taking molly or something like that. So what happened is, like, you know, I was at one location, my buddy was at another location, and we were just going back and forth. And so I instant messaged him, I popped the molly, I'm sweating, woo, right? Thought he would die laughing because it was a while, whatever, right? Except, at the time, he walked away from his computer from the other location, and somebody else walked up to the computer and saw that someone instant message popped the molly. Wait, they're taking drugs. Oh man, somebody's taking drugs on the job, apparently, right? So he comes back to the computer. He sees that he sees that the message is up there, but he doesn't see anybody around. But then a little while later, he's called in by the HR office to explain himself, right? And they were able to trace where the computer, the original computer, it came from at. Now, for me, I wasn't even, like, I didn't know that behind the scenes, HR was doing all this stuff. They were getting everything together, like, collecting all the evidence and things like that. And out of nowhere, the night before, like, it was like, I'll never forget it. It was a Sunday night. I got a call from my boss saying, hey, tomorrow, just come straight up to the administrative office, come to the main office. And I'm like, that can't be good. Like, there's no good can come of this, right? So at the time, he actually didn't even know what was going on. They just said, hey, we need you and and Maurice, we need you and Reese to come down here. There's something we need to talk about. So we get in there, and I'll never forget the HR director, who's a sweet person. until you get on their bad side, and then they turn into a shark and attack you, and just they'll kill you, they'll crush you, right? So they're like, come on in. So it's like a tribunal. It's like all the big wigs in front of me, and my boss is sitting next to me. We're both kind of sweating bullets. Like, what's this going on? And they're like, are you taking recreational drugs? And I'm like, whoa, no. If you know me, you know I'm completely a big time drug user. Like, I use it all the time. I get wasted on the air day, on the regular. Oh wait, I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that. So obviously I was joking. They always knew me as that clean cut button down guy. And all of a sudden they're like, oh man, is he taking drugs on work hours and just going crazy and stuff like that? And I assured them, I said, hey, no, I'm not actually taking drugs. It was a joke. There's this cool instant messaging system that we like to use. It's just, we're making fun of this really awful rap song. And they listened to the rap song. They listened, like, we heard this rap song. It is not a good song. Like, yeah, duh. And these are like older, their demographic doesn't usually listen to rap music. So it was just like, yeah, this is going to be a disaster. Now I have to explain to them, like, they think I listen to that music. I listen to rap, sure I do, but I don't listen to that. That's trash. Like, that's garbage. I'm upset that they would believe that I would consider that music. But anyway, so they're getting in there, laying into me, and they're like, well, you can't work until you get a drug test. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It was a joke. It was a bad joke, but it was a joke. So, like, they had my manager escort me to the nearest drug testing facility where they had already set up an appointment for me to go to. So we're sitting there. I'm sitting with him. It's like, okay, I guess I gotta go pee in a cup. And I couldn't work until the results came back. And the results didn't come back for like a week. So I had a week suspension as a manager. I was an actual manager of my location, and they still suspended me. Like, great. Like, how do you rally the troops? And obviously people knew about it because gossip travels. So it's like, yeah, were you suspended for drug use? Like, no. So to bring it to a close, the moral of the story here is watch what you say to who you're saying it to. Because sure, an inside joke between friends, which is what it was, turned into such a big deal that I got suspended from work. And yeah, I mean, I still got paid, so that's great. But it was like, it was my professional reputation online, and I'm absolutely sure it took a hit from that. It must have. So just, I would say, be careful what you throw out there, because you never know when it's going to come back to bite you. And if you don't believe me, you do something like that and just watch.